let me tell the agenda for today, what we will be covering today. First, we will be talking about servlet redirects. Yesterday we talked about servlet including and servlet forwarding. How to include the response of one servlet inside another by using include, and how to forward the request from one servlet to other by using forward. Now we'll understand today how to redirect from one servlet to other. I'll talk about what is the meaning of redirect and what is the difference between forward and redirect. Then after this we'll talk about cookies. After understanding about cookies, we'll talk about session management. Then we'll talk about something called servlet listeners. Then we'll talk about filters. This should complete our servlet topic. Then today I'll just give introduction to JSP, Java Server. This will be the agenda for today. Okay. So now let's start with the first topic, servlet redirects. What do I mean by a redirect? Okay, I'll just give an example first. If you type gmail.com on your browser, have you observed that gmail.com, if I type just gmail.com and press enter, okay, now no internet connection is there for my laptop. If I press enter, did you observe the change in URL? www.google.com/service accounts / something, service account login something, right? I actually gave a request to google.com only. Now what happened? The request went to google.com, something on google.com. But my browser got a response saying that you give a new request to some URL like www.google.com/service account / service login or something like that, right? So now what this gmail.com server is doing is it is making a redirect to some other URL. Actually you are giving a request to gmail.com, but the response is coming to the browser and the response says give a request on new URL. So that means that you are being redirected to another URL, right? So now let us try to understand how to redirect in our servlets. Okay. So now let me tell you the scenario. I'll have two servlets, /first, a URL with /first and the URL with /second. Okay. I will give a request to /first, but what the first will do is it will send some response to the browser, right? Whenever HTTP response is coming, we discussed every HTTP response will be in particular format. Right, let me just open it. Yes, is it the format of servlet response? Status description, status code, protocol version. Every response will be in that format, right? So every response will have some status code. 200 for success, 404 for page not found, like that, right? There is this code called 301. 301 indicates redirection to the browser. Okay. Now see what I'll do. I'll give a request to first servlet, right? The first servlet will set a response code to 301. 301 indicates redirection to the browser. Then also I'll set response header. Header name is location, and I'll give whatever location I want. The value is /second. This is a key value pair. Location is the name of the response header which I will be setting, and the value is to wherever I want to redirect. Okay. So now whenever I give a request to /first from my browser, the request comes to first servlet. What the first servlet is saying? it is sending a response with the response code as 301. Once the browser or any HTTP client sees, once the browser or any HTTP client sees the response code as 301, it understands, oh, I need to make a new request to a new URL. But how does it know to what URL it has to make a request? It will see a response header. In the response, there will be some response headers, right? So in the response headers, it will search for a response header called location, get its value, and automatically browser will make a request to whatever URL, whatever URI you are giving, right? So this is how redirect works, right? So first I'll show you an example, just see how I'm doing, later I'll give you time to do it, okay? So here there are some more concepts to be understood, logical concepts. I want you to understand logically first, don't need to remember at all. These are all logical concepts. First, if you understand the concepts, you can remember it easily, right? Okay, I'll just write the application first. I'll take a new application for demonstrating it, so it will be very clear. Servlet redirecting. First, let me explain you all the concepts, then I'll give you time for doing it. Here, as I said, in my application there will be two servlets, one with URL /first /second. That's it. So I'll just create a new package first, com.sapient. Okay, here I'll write a new servlet, first servlet. Next, the URL pattern I want to give as /first. Now I'll take only doGet method. I'll use only doGet right now. What is the default request method? Get or post? Get is the default request method. Okay. Then here I'll just write response dot get writer. I'll get a print writer. Out is equals, then out.println. Whatever I have done earlier, I'll just print something. Println, this is from first servlet. Then simply I will write the second servlet also. I'll write something inside it. Then I'll show you how to redirect. New servlet, second servlet, URL pattern I'll give it as /second. Next, I'll take only doGet here also. Finish. Here also I will write a similar statement. So I'll just copy paste from here. Second servlet is printing this, and now I told I'll give a request to first servlet. Then I said first servlet should send a redirect, right? I'm saying response dot set status. I said the status should be 301. Okay, this will set the status of the response. And response dot set header. The header name is location. The value is nothing but the relative URL. Relative URL means I'll give as second, relative to the current URL. What do I mean by relative URL? You will just understand once I give a request. Yes, I give the URL pattern of the second servlet without slash. There is a difference. What will happen if I give slash and what will happen if I don't give slash? Okay. So I'm giving a request. See what is happening. Okay, the page is in offline mode. Okay. See here, I just give a request to slash first. I'm typing slash first. If I press enter, see how automatically it changes to second. Right? Now what happened? The request went to first servlet, but first servlet sent a response saying status code is 301 and response header called location. So the response came back to the browser. The browser understands, oh, I got a redirect request, the status code is 301 and status header is location, right? Then browser has automatically made a request to second, right? So this is how redirection happens. But what do I mean by relative URL? Just see here, what do I mean by relative URL? I'm giving first, right? The last part of the URL is removed. What is the last part? First. First will be removed, and whatever you give in the location header will be added, right? So if I give slash second, slash means what? Root directory, right? If you are giving from slash, that means that you are giving from the root directory, means absolute path, right? Absolute path means it is not related to the current URL. Now see what will happen if I say slash. I'll just restart my server. Now I just close this browser and open it. Now I'll give a request to slash first, okay? Wait. Again I'll deploy it. Now I'll give a request to slash first. I'll open a new browser because it's showing from the cache. I'll open Internet Explorer. Now see the URL. It was not, if I give slash, the browser will treat that you are giving the absolute URI, means URI, whatever coming after the port number will be replaced with whatever you give if you use slash, right? If you don't give slash, the browser will treat that you are giving a relative URL and will replace only the last part, right? See, it will replace only the last part. Now why Firefox is showing like this? Because it is internally caching the response of the earlier servlet. It's because of caching. If I clear the caching, it will be fine, okay? There's only caching problem. You know how to clear the cache, right? Okay. So understood before difference between the relative URL and the absolute URL. Remember, I am telling you some 3 important points right now. What is the difference between redirect and forwarding? A very important thing you need to understand, because while forwarding, you can forward the request to a servlet or HTML or anything within the same application. Okay, remember. So in my application, let's assume that there are two applications in my application, in my Tomcat. Application A, application B, two web applications, application A and application B, right? In this application A, let's assume that there are two servlets /f comma /s. Okay. Now, and also in second application, there are, let's assume that there are two servlets with URL pattern /x comma /y. Now, if servlet F want to forward, it can forward only to a servlet or any HTML page or any image or anything within same application, within A only. But it cannot forward, this /f cannot forward to X or Y in other application, right? That is the restriction in forwarding. But while redirecting, you can redirect to anywhere, because while redirecting, browser is making a fresh request or not. When it has to redirect, when it has to make a second request, it is making a fresh request. That request can be to anywhere, right? So while redirecting, you can redirect to a resource in any location or anywhere, right? That is the first difference, right? Any difference? Any doubt? While forwarding, you can forward to a resource which is in same application, but while redirecting, you can redirect to anywhere, right? Another difference is the client knowing that the request is being forwarded. When you give forward, what is happening? I'll just show you the earlier code, forwarding. So when you are forwarding here, see here, you are using request dispatcher dot forward. On the server side, the first server is forwarding to second. The client never knows. The browser does not know even that the request has been forwarded on the server. The forwarding or including happens on the server side. The client is not aware whether the request has been forwarded or not. But while redirecting, is the client aware? Yes, because browser itself is making a fresh request, right? So while redirecting, the client is aware that the request is being redirected, because client itself is making a redirect, right? That is the second difference, right? And tell me the third difference. When it is forwarding, when first servlet is forwarding to second servlet, are they part of first servlet and second servlet? Are they part of same request, or are they part of two different requests? Same request. So when forwarding or including, both the servlets are part of same request. But while redirecting, browser is making a new request or fresh request. So two requests are being made when you are redirecting, right? Okay. Now once you understand this, tell me what will happen. In the first servlet, I can say request dot set attributes, some attribute name I'll say xxx, something xyz, and the value something like 1 2 3. I have set a request attribute here, and then it is redirecting, right? If I access request dot get attribute here, will it be there in second servlet? Because for second servlet, it's a new request. The earlier request object was destroyed. When it is redirecting, browser is making a fresh request to second servlet. So this request object is a new request object. Yes. What is a cookie? Chocolate? Okay. So let me tell you, cookies are HTTP request headers and request response headers. Cookies are both as part of request header as well as response headers, right? Okay, let me tell you what is the use of a cookie. Have you observed, like if you go to gmail.com, if you type your username and password, there's an option save my password on this desktop. There's a checkbox in that, right? Have you checked it at any time? The second time if you type Gmail, it will not ask your username and password. Automatically the username and password will be saved and it will be they will be displayed also, right? So how is this happening? This is happening with the use of cookies. Okay, let us try to understand how these cookies can happen, how these cookies will work. Have you seen the movie Ghajini? Okay, in Ghajini, Amir Khan was having what? Short-term memory loss, right? Similarly, our web server also has a short-term memory loss. Our web server is also, our Tomcat is also Ghajini, like Ghajini, it also has short-term memory loss. What it does is, if you submit your username and password for the first time, and if you go for the next time, will it be remembering your username and password? No. Your server will not remember your username and password. Whatever you submit now will not be remembered by server until the next time, right? So you have to remember, you have to make the server to remember it, right? Okay, now let us see. Tell me what is happening in Ghajini movie. If suppose Amir Khan wants to remember a person, what is he doing? He'll click how many photographs? 2 photographs, right? 1 photograph for him and 1 photograph for the other person, right? At the back of the photograph, he will be writing all the details. Okay, suppose if he wants to remember her, he will write at the back of the photo. He will write all the details of her, right? Her name is so and so. She is from Sapient. I met him in training, something like this, right? And 1 photograph will be given to the other person, right? So next time, when the same person wants Amir Khan to remember him, what he will do? Oh, he'll show, hey, you have clicked my photograph, you have my photograph with me, try to remember me. Then Amir Khan will take the photograph. This Amir Khan will be having a set of photographs with him, right? He will check all the photographs. Do I have a match? Yes. Once he finds a match, then he'll turn the photograph. Okay, there are some details, right? Then he'll say, yeah, remember you, right? Same concept here, cookies. Now let me tell you the example. I will first make a request which will ask for username and password, right? The user will type username and password, and the user wants the server to remember these usernames and passwords. Okay? What I can do is, once I submit the request will go to some servlet on server side, right? The server, if I ask the server to remember, what the server will do is, what the servlet can do is, it can create a cookie. Cookie, as I said, it's nothing but a request header, right? So every cookie can have a name and some properties for that, right? So I'll create 2 cookies. Now I'm submitting username and password, right? I want my username and password to be remembered by the server. So the servlet will create 2 cookies now. 1 cookie for remembering username and 1 cookie for password. Every cookie will have a name and a value. Name is nothing but username, and value is what the user submits. Okay? So 2 cookies are created. 1 username cookie and 1 password cookie, right? Then these cookies, as I said, they can be response headers, right? These cookies can be added to response. So my servlet, what it will do is, will add these cookies, username cookie and password cookie, as part of response, and then we will send the response back to the browser. Once the browser, the HTTP client, gets the response, according to HTTP protocol, the protocol says, if any HTTP client gets cookies as response, this HTTP client, the browser, has to store those cookies in some temporary location. Okay? So what the browser will do, my browser will store the username and password cookies in some temporary location, right? Then according to HTTP protocol, when the same browser is making a request to same application, again what the browser has to do, it has to add these cookies as part of request, and then it has to send it to server. So once the request goes back to server second time, will the server get this cookie's username cookie and password cookie? Yes, the server will get the cookie. The server will extract the values of them, right, and then give the output, right? So now I'll write the program for this. Okay, just see here, observe how cookies are being used. I'll give you time for writing this application after some time. I'm creating a new application, new dynamic web project, cookies. I'll create a package first, com.sapient. First, I'm creating a servlet. This servlet should ask for username and password. It should ask me for username and password. It should return a form, HTML form, containing asking for username and password. So I'll name this servlet as ask login details servlet. Next, I'll give the URL pattern as /ask login. Take do get finish. First concentrate here. So now here this servlet right now is very simple. I'll just say response dot get writer, print writer out is equals to. Then out dot println. Here the output should be HTML page. Writing HTML inside Java is very painful, but somehow I'll write it. Later I'll tell you a solution for it. HTML body tag, and it's a very good practice. Whenever you write a starting tag, it's a very good practice to write the ending tag also. /body / right. Then I had to write a form, out dot println form and ending tag for form. Action is equals to I will write here send cookies. This is the URL pattern for my next servlet. I'll write next servlet later. Then out.println username type is equals to text, name is equals to uname, I'll say. Okay, and see here the logic, a small logic I'm writing. I'll write a string name is equals to empty, string password is equals to empty. Two strings I created. Okay, see the logic I'm writing here. For every input there will be value attribute also. Value is what is displayed, right? So value is equals to in single quotes I'm keeping name. See what will happen? Name is initially empty, right? So here value is equals to empty. Initially nothing will be displayed. Later, next I will write out.println here password type is equals to, for now I can keep password, but I want to display here, let it be like this. I'll say pwd value is equals to, okay, this empty string whatever I created, right? Then I will last submit button out dot println input type is equals to submit value is equals to, it's a login. Okay, so will this display a form which will ask for username, password and submit button? Yes, just I'll run it and show you first quickly. No, I didn't give a BR. Okay, so it's asking for username and password and submit button, right? Once I click on submit, where is it going? See, it's going to a servlet whose URL pattern will be send cookies, right? So till now I didn't write that servlet, I'll write it. Before I go ahead, I will write a BR tag here so that it will print a new line. Here also a BR tag. Okay, then I had to write a servlet whose URL pattern will be send cookies. Send cookies servlet. The URL pattern should be as I wrote in action is equals to, it's slash. I'll take do get only. Finish. Here now, once a user submits in the earlier one, it is sending username and password as request parameters, right? I want these usernames and passwords to be remembered. So what I want this servlet, once I press submit, it's going to send cookie servlet, right? What I want this servlet to do is, now it has to get the request parameters for username and password. It will get the values. Then I want it to create two cookies, one for username and one for password. Add these cookies to response and then send the response back. That's it. Okay, see here how I do it. I'll say request dot get parameter. What's the parameter name I gave for username? Uname. String username is equals to, okay, then next string password is equals to request dot get parameter. What is the name I gave here? I gave pwd. I got this. So now I said I have to create a cookie. What is the cookie I told? Cookie is a response header, can be as part of response header, right? So now I want to create a cookie and then add it as part of response header. Okay, see here, cookie. There's a class called cookie in Java x.servlet.hdb package. Cookie, I'll say user cookie is equals to new cookie. See here, cookie constructor is having a parameter. The cookie is having a constructor which is having two parameters, cookie name and cookie value. I'll give here some name, say uname cookie, and the value is whatever I got from the browser. Right? Then I will add it to response by saying response dot add cookie. I have added this cookie to response now. Similarly, I want another cookie for password. I'll say here pass cookie, and here also I'll name it as something like pwd cookie. Okay, different name I gave. Okay, and here it should be password. So I created a cookie for password, and I am adding this cookie also to again response, right? Then simply I'll write some output, response dot get writer dot println I have sent cookies. Just something. This will be the output which will be displayed on the browser. But as part of response headers, these cookies also will be coming, right? Okay, let me show you now what will happen. I'll run the application and I'll show you. I'll run the first servlet now. Okay, it's asking for username and password. I'll submit my username and password Shiva, and password also I'll type as Shiva. I didn't give type is equals to password because just I want you to see the password also. So login, I'm pressing it, right? It has went to send cookies. Now the send cookies servlet has added some cookies as part of response, right? As I said, according to HTTP protocol, whenever a HTTP client in the browser receives cookies as part of response, it has to store those cookies inside some temporary location, right? I'll show you where my Firefox is storing the cookies. I'm going to tools, options, privacy. See here, if I click on this remove individual cookies, it will show me all the cookies. See, there are various cookies from various sites on my browser, but I'll show you from localhost. Yeah, see, from localhost there are some cookies which are stored. See, this is the cookie. Cookie name is pwd cookie, whatever I said, and the value is whatever I typed, Shiva. And when is it created? No, it didn't show the create. And when it expires at the end of the session. When will the session end? I'll tell you after some time. But now see the other one, uname cookie, and the content name is Shiva, whatever I typed, Shiva, right? And from which server did it come? From localhost. And from which application? Cookies demo, right? So my Firefox has stored the cookies in some temporary location which I am showing here, right? Now again, according to HTTP protocol, when this browser is making a request to same host and to same application, to same path, it has to add these cookies as part of request and then send it, right? So in the same browser, if I make a request to the same application, again my browser will be sending the two cookies, right? Now what I'll do is here, I'll make a request to ask login. Okay, see here I gave a request to ask login. Tell me, my browser has sent cookies or not? My browser is making a request to same host in the same application. My browser might have sent cookies to this ask login servlet, right? But why is it not displaying? I want this to be displayed automatically, right? Because in my first servlet, ask login servlet, did I write the code for reading cookies? No, I didn't write the code for reading cookies. So now what I'll do is I'll write the code for reading cookies. See how I'll read it. See now, whatever browser is sending, through which object can I access it? Browser is sending cookies as part of request, right? So I can access it through request object, right? So I'll just write request dot, there's a method called get cookies, which is returning a cookie array. It's returning an array because we don't know how many cookies the browser will be sending, right? I will be getting an array of cookies. Okay, I'll take it in an array. Cookies is equals to, now cookie array, Now you know how to iterate over the array. For cookie colon cookies, then I just wanted to loop through it if this array is not empty, because if the browser does not have any cookies, browser will not send anything, right? I will be getting an empty array. Can I iterate over an empty array? No. So I want to loop over it if, tell me what should I write, how should I find whether this array is empty or not? Cookies? No, okay, see here, I can see request.getCookies. What it will do is, it will return null if there are no cookies. It will not return an empty array, it will return null. So now I have to check if cookies not equals to null, then I will loop it. Okay, now I am checking if, as I told earlier in send cookies, did I give a name to cookie and value to cookie? Every cookie will have a name and a value. So this is the name of my username cookie, right? Okay, see here what I am doing here. If cookie dot get name will give the name of the cookie, dot equals username cookie, then I'll say name is equals to cookie dot get value. Here I created name is equals to empty initial, right? Else again I have to write a similar if it is equals to, what is the name of the cookie I gave it here is pwd cookie. Then I'd say password is equals to passwd is equals to cookie dot get value. See what I am doing here. From the browser, just I'll close my browser and give it again. From the browser I am making a request to ask login servlet, right? If I close the browser, the cookies which my browser has stored in temporary location earlier will be deleted by default. Now there will be no cookies from my local host. Okay, for making it very clear, I will remove all the cookies right now. Remove all individual cookies. Remove all cookies. Right now in my browser there are no cookies. Better I'll close it and open again. So my browser is not having any cookies right now. I am making a request. Oh, I think I didn't start the server here. Yeah, okay, see here. Now I gave a request to ask login, the first servlet. Browser, is it sending any cookies? No, because it was not having any cookies. I deleted all the cookies. Now what will happen? See here, what is the code? Request at get cookies. There are no cookies coming as part of request. So this will return null. Right? If cookie is not equals, will this be satisfied? No, it will not go inside this if. It will directly come and print it. If it directly comes, here you are seeing value is equals to what? Name is empty right now, right? Because the if loop, if condition was not executed, right? If block was not executed, so name will be null. So that is the reason why I got username and password to be empty, right? Okay, now I will submit something. Tell me any one of your good names. Huh? Surendra, okay. Surendra, right? Okay. Any other name? Moni. Okay. M-O? N-I. Okay, I'll submit it. Okay. Now the request went to send cookies, right? Second servlet might have sent the cookies. Let us see whether my browser received the cookies and stored them or not. See, my local host is having 2 cookies. Password is Moni. Username is Surendra, right? From which host? Local host, and from the same path, is it? Now my browser is having cookies. What I'll do is, without closing my browser, again I'll give a request to ask login. Now see, are they populated automatically? What happened? Whenever my browser is giving a request, my browser has sent cookies. When I said request I get cookies, I am getting a cookie array whose length is 2. There are 2 cookies, right? So I am checking, is it null? No, because there are 2 cookies. So I am checking the name. If the name is uname cookie, I am initializing name else password. So in this name and password variables, the values will be saved, and then while displaying here, value is equals to I use, right? So the values will be displayed. This is how it makes us feel as if the server has remembered my username and password. Actually, server is not remembering any username and password. The browser is sending it, and then the server is sending the same thing back with the response, right? The same thing is happening whenever you see something like remember me on this computer. Even google.com will be using the same concept of cookies, okay? But now the thing which I want you to know is, if I close my browser, by default cookies will be deleted. See, I'll show you again whether there are cookies or not. I'll go here. See, are there any cookies from localhost now? No. But generally what we want the I want my username and password to be remembered till next year. Till some duration I want. As soon as I close my browser, I don't want the cookies to be removed. I want my cookies to be remembered until next 1 year. So I have to set the age of a cookie. By default, age of the cookie is -1. Means once the browser is closed, cookie's age is over. Cookies will be removed. I have to set the maximum age of the cookie for 1 year. So let us see how to set the age of a cookie. In my send cookies, here is the one where I am creating cookies, right? I'll set user cookie dot set max age. Set max age. This is in seconds. So it's taking in 60 means 1 minute into 60 means 1 hour into 24 is 24 hours into 365 is 1 year. Is it? So the age of my username cookie will be 1 year. So until next 1 year, the browser should not delete my username cookie, right? By default, the browser will delete the cookies once I close the browser, but now username will not be deleted. But what about password cookie? I didn't set the age. So password cookie will be deleted. This is the browser process, right? So let's continue now. I have set the age for user cookie. So let's see now what will happen. Again, for making it very clear, I'll delete the cookies. Okay, anyway, cookies are not there. Okay, I'll close it. Now I will run the first servlet again. Okay, now tell me, if I give a request for ask login, will I be able to see username and password? No, because my browser didn't send. Okay, now I'll send something. Tell me another sweet names. Swami. Okay, password. Sarfu. Huh? Sarfu. S-U? Okay. Okay, so I'm submitting. My browser might have stored those usernames and passwords. Let me show you. See now, password cookie, what is the when it expires? At the end of session, means once the browser closes. And see, for username, when it expires? September 4, 2012 at 10:57, means 1 year, next 1 year. Today's date is September 5th. I think the series is having 366 days. Okay, somehow. Right, it will expire on September 4, 2012, right? Close it. Okay. Now I'll close the browser. I'll open it again. Let's see what all cookies will be there. From localhost, there's only one cookie. username cookie, but password cookie has been deleted. So now if I give a request to my servlet, just I'll run it. If I give a request, see, only username is populated for me, but password is not populated because my servlet didn't receive the cookies.
वही कर रहा एक क्या करना है मेल कर रहा हूँ यार वही मैं कर रहा था लेकिन कोई हाथ पे लगाने से कर दूँ मुझे अपने में भरोसा है आज लॉगिन नहीं चल रहा है अरे यार मैं कह रहा हूँ ये देखिए ठीक है आ जाओ मेल कर देता हूँ। तू बंद गेट बंद कर। नेट आ रहा है? अबे नेट तो कनेक्टेड ही नहीं।
4 more minutes. Next one. Okay, actually what I have done in my case is, first I configure Tomcat, then I started using it. I think you did the reverse. First time when you are creating a project, you create a project, then you add a so it is coming as none. So what you have to every time is select, then Tomcat library will be added. Suppose this is okay. See now, here like this Tomcat library added, right? But for your charge one, if I show you Tomcat library is not, right? Now if you want to add activity, then get this properties. Okay? Add library. Okay? One more time. Now all the Tomcat libraries are added. Scroll it down. Down nothing is there. Scroll it up or down. That's it. Here, this is the first solid. Nothing is there down. Complete. Okay, you are getting the 2 pieces laid. Okay, and now is the value displayed again? You are doing parallel with me, right? Okay, if you can manage that stuff, but you are not missing anything, right? Because I thought my student, if you are typing parallel with me, you understand, right? Then whenever you have time, you open your laptop and see that program as well. Please tell me if I'm okay, actually, this email is a login page. What is the URL? www.google.com/account/service account login slash. So a lot of things are big URL. Suppose if you are asked to type the big URL for logging into Gmail, will you use Gmail? Why don't we use the government domain? Okay. That is one thing. That is one reason. Wait. That is one reason. There are a lot of scenarios where password will have to be set for you. Okay, I tell you one thing. Suppose there is something that there are 2 pages. First page is asking some data. Click on it. Where service. Where service is saving the data to database. Right? Once you submit, what will the URL of the browser? The URL to this server, right? URL to this server, right? User. There are a lot of probabilities that a user can refresh the same URL. Click on refresh button. Right? You can refresh on the browser, right? Refresh. So what happens is, once I submit it, my browser is already showing the URL of this server. If I refresh again and new request to go to this server, the same duplicate data will be stored in the database. Right? So now the solution for this is, I forward this one, in this sublet, what you can do, you can redirect to a new page where only output will be shown. So in a browser, what will be the URL of this page? If you refresh only the data will be shown. Not this all right. So there are some disadvantages in this forward. In some places you may want to redirect so as to avoid this problem. Related to those problems also will come in structs. I am dealing with structs that talk about structs. Understand? That too is forwarding and redirect. Redirection is useful in some scenarios. I'm anyway covering it from. Yeah, now we talk about email. I'll be talking about all the. But one thing is, you want to tell us that people taking the same class for experience. Sometimes experience people also they are engaging because they want to attend for their personal time. For some people to travel to the Java, they are taking for experience. If I'm taking the same topic for experience, my effort will be even different. I'll say even less than that's all. Because I know this. But if I talk in the same way to you, some of you might be good, but all of them may not. I have to keep it in mind. I know like where to tell and where not to tell because I don't want to confuse people. Okay, what Gmail does is it sends encrypted password. But you don't know what the algorithm to decrypt. See, for every encryption algorithm or decryption algorithm, they will look for the salt. For using that salt, they will decrypt. So you should know that salt which Google was using for then only can decrypt. It's very difficult to decrypt. That's very deep there. Reading cookies from it. In first sublet, you are reading from the cookie. So to get cookies, you are reading it. Whatever browser is sending. In this case, it's reading. In second sublet, you are actually adding. Both request and response. Okay, so avoid such places, right? Use control space everywhere. Not like you are writing a paper. See, if you get a red line at any line, red mark, response process, make it as a habit, okay? Use control space automatically import it. So make it a habit. If you see any red at any line, don't proceed and it is clear that you should have it. Then you should have a program. This is a good for the program, right? This will be told. This I told you in collection, right? How to prepare our collection to remove problem. See, prepare and upload the how to write a for entire and then is that length. Right? So here you can use this new for loop. This for loop works only after JDK 1.5. Now what is the latest version? JDK 1.7 also is there. From JDK 1.5 is syntax. Before JDK 1.5 is syntax. So what happened is for the first time in the loop, this loop will continue to increase that length. That's the number of iterations done. For the first time in the loop, this variable will be pointing first item will be there. Second time the same variable will be pointing second item. That is until the end infinite. It's a very simplest way of working. Okay, you have done it. Did you follow all the rules which I told? Just give me your mouse, put your mouse here. Context. You have written to context. You have taken everything as a context. Okay. And okay, where are you creating a connection? What? Where is that? How many servers are there?
Actually, for forwarding, I have to submit the second for the communication line. So this is in the
Servlet
I'm getting
config.
the connection.
But you're getting it from servlet context of the config.js. Did you keep your library? Is it running? But where is the library?
Actually, I have the library at the Java file.
Where?
Copied it.
Where did you
It's
keep?
not saying it is, I have copied it.
It's not saying.
It's not saying that I have copied it.
Okay. You are. Well, giving me. Is it working? I think it's not working. No. You should not give double quotes there. You should give that variable, right? I think it should not work. It should fail connection here. I should build a. No, this is a URL. You kept in double quotes. And here also password you have to keep. You have kept in double quotes. It should not work. It's not working, I guess. Just check if it's working right now. And I want to see the data in database also. Show me the data in database. I think it was giving exception you were not saying. Did you see the data in database? That's what. You have done not an instance, it was throwing exception, you didn't upload it on the console. Now observe it on the console. There, but see the console. Console. See exception is there. Open it, maximum. See exception. Right? Driver is not there. OJDBC code in the jar is not there. Driver jar is not there. It was not inside the database. See, you catch the exception, right? You caught it. So no problem. It will display a progress on output. You are not saving it in the database or you are not retrieving it from the database. Yeah, the driver jar you have to keep inside Grabba and display. Take 10 more minutes and I want to see the output on all the screens. Okay, that's fine. But what logic can you do this in your model, right? Got it, right? But so you have, I think in your curriculum, you have Your name is Shruti. So remember him. He has to pay 50 rupees. Okay? I think your friends will not forget. They will make you to pay. Now, you have to get the request from Microsoft Net. You will be getting username and password as request from Net, right? Username and password you have request from Net, right? Get the request from Net. Huh? Then create a request. Just see once and type it out. Just see once. Don't copy it line by line. Just see it once and then try it on your own. What? What? It's inserted? Inserted? Oh, driver created. Did you copy the jar? Where do you copy? When I flip, but then why is it here? Okay, so that's it. Okay, last 5 more minutes. I'll start a new topic. In 5 minutes, all of you complete it. I will start session management. Birthday? Yesterday? Okay, today is giving a party for us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, after some time we'll sing a song for him also. And he's giving a party, why can't we sing a song? Okay. That's up to you, just a joke. Don't take it seriously. If you want to give party, you can give to your friends. Okay, shall I? No? Should be exactly same as what you gave inside your method example. You are a pattern, exactly. Okay, I'm going to take a new topic. All of you listen here for some time. I'll come after some time. Let me complete one more topic. See, we are already lagging behind the schedule. Okay, let me complete the topics first. Session management. All of you listen here. Okay, leave your previous program. I'll give you some more time after completing this concept. All of you concentrate here. Oh my God, I didn't.